The Sixth Grade Ninja, Chapter 1. I was a regular kid until I became a ninja. It's a very long, boring story, so I'm going to tell you the exciting story. I sat there at my desk, listening to my history teacher yapping away about the Civil War. I'm not a bad student, but I'm not a very good one. Finally, the bell rings. Yay! I walked to 7th period science. This was one of my favorite periods. I sat next to my best friend, Leon. Leon is a pretty smart kid. He is one of the tallest kids in our class. What are we doing today? He replied, I don't know. Well, you should, I said back. Just guess. No answer. I was getting annoyed. Then he said, chemistry? Well, he was right. Chemistry was not my favorite subject. I was partners with Leon. Yeah, so what's up, Jeremy? I didn't answer. After school, I raced down the 3-mile path through the city to my apartment. In the middle of the city, I stopped. I heard rustling. I crept into a back alley and took off my regular clothes. Under those, I had a ninja uniform. I drew my dagger. I pulled up my mask. A flock of birds flew out of the nearest tree. 3 Dominators jumped out of a bush. Dominators are evil ninjas. They want to take over the world. 3 was a big number for Dominators to be together. They tackled me and unarmed me. I was tied to a light post. I was miserable. Suddenly, I heard a familiar voice that yelled, "Yeah!" Leon jumped off of the top of the toy store. He was armed with a ruler. He swung the ruler around, hitting a Dominator in the face. He flew back into the wall. The second ninja dude lunged at Leon. Leon took out a freshly sharpened pencil and stabbed the ninja dude in the hand. He stumbled back. He slipped on a banana peel and hit his head on the wall. He lay there unconscious. The third guy punched Leon in the back and he fell forward. I reached my dagger lying on the floor with my foot. I kicked it to where my hands could reach it. I cut the ropes off my hands. I jumped up. The third guy drew his sword. One-on-one, he slashed first. I jumped back just in time. I ran back a few yards. Then I ran full speed towards him. At the last second, I dropped and slid baseball style through his legs. I slashed his fingers, and he yelled in agony. He dropped his sword. I kicked him and he crumpled. Leon was okay except his left wrist. He ran to his own house. I went on to my apartment. In the kitchen, there were some double fudge brownies, and a note which read, "Save these brownies for Leon. He's coming to our house. I'll be back soon. Theo." You might be wondering, who is Theo? Well, Theo is like both my parents combined. I've never met my parents. So anyways, Theo is my big brother. Bulky and very popular. He plays football. He's even a champion. He doesn't even know that I'm a ninja. I went to my room and closed the door. In the room was Flash, my pet python. He's 3 years old. I fed him and sat down on my bed. I waited for Leon to come. I was in science. We were studying chemical reactions. I poured vinegar on a piece of limestone and white puffy stuff puffed up. When the school bell rang, I jumped from my seat and raced out the door. Chapter 2. I was surrounded by Dominators. It was the end of me. Then I had an idea. I yelled to the Dominators, "Hey, who's hungry?" They all raised their hands. I fished out a king-size bag of Skittles. I threw it at the nearest ninja dude. He ripped it open, and the others tried to grab it out of his hands. In all that chaos, I ran into this toy store. He soon found me. I was hiding in a box of styrofoam peanuts or whatever. I threw a giant action figure at the leader. It hit him in the stomach, and he fell into a heap of broken Barbie dolls. The next guy slashed the box in two. I shoved a handful of styrofoam peanuts in his mouth and asked, "Hey, how does that taste?" I punched him in the face and he flew back, saliva-covered styrofoam flying from his mouth. The next ninja dude had a really wicked sword. Our blades met, sending up sparks. With my free hand, I grabbed a Nerf baseball bat. I brought it down on his hand and he dropped his sword. He drew his knife. I had one idea left. I threw the baseball bat at his foot. Then I ran backwards. He stepped forward and tripped over the bat. The next guy was a lot smarter than the previous guy. He had a double-barreled dart blaster. A dart flew past me and impaled itself into the wall. Another pierced my arm and stayed there. The poison slowly drained itself into my blood. Then everything went black. Chapter 3. I awoke to the sound of machines. I looked around. I was in a jail cell. "Hey," said a voice. I jumped. I spun around. Leon was in the next cell. I reached for my dagger. The sheath was empty. I cursed. I reached into my belt's inside pocket. My wires were still there. I went to work at the lock. I finally got it open. I snuck to the guard's back, poked his finger into a pencil sharpener, and then I turned the sharpener around. The guard screamed like a girl. He fell over and rolled on the ground. I jumped up and joined the fight. The Dominator slashed at my neck. It was a fake. He then slashed my shin. I rolled on the hard, cold floor when I saw my dagger, sprinted past all of the guards, then picked up a steel rod. I hurled it at the guard's head, and he toppled over like a domino.